Friday futures are plunging pre-market. You can see everything is down along with Bitcoin. Nasdaq is down 1.85%. S&P 500 is down almost 1.5%. They're all in the buy zone actually. So this is a great area to buy if you've been waiting to buy. You can see all the indices, including Bitcoin, perfectly in the buy zone. And this is the time, guys. This is the time you want to be buying in the green area and you want to be selling in the red area. You can see this is Nasdaq. How nicely these moves are being captured here. With this chart I made, you can see Nasdaq came to sell zone, perfectly tagged it, and then dumped since then. Came to buy zone, went above neutral zone, now again back in the buy zone. This is the area you want to be buying, and I will tell you why we are going. I was telling everybody that there are gaps on SPY. You can see this is SPX. This big gap, okay, this gap was filled on IWM. You can see it's below that now, but SPY, this is S&P 500 ETF. You can see that this gap is still not filled. Okay, we are now closing. Looks like we're going to be opening below this 200 SMA dark blue line, and we could be going for this gap fill around 56,564. All right, we'll see if they fill this gap. Now the question is, we are opening on a gap down. All right, so there will be a gap down. So will bulls buy the dip and fill this gap, or bears will take over and then fill this bottom gap? So we're right now in the middle, so we don't know which way market is gonna go. So you can see, is it gonna be this, or is it gonna be keep going higher, or is it gonna be more like from here we're gonna go lower and then go higher? All right, so both scenarios, probably this is the dip you want to be buying before we hit all-time high. So this is very interesting chart, guys. And you can see here this area where I was in one of the videos I mentioned, this whole area is a very interesting area, this area. And if I go back, you can see this whole area is a lot of data here. All right, you can see here, bounce here, broke down here, came back in this range, now coming back down here. All right, so this is the area where it feels like market wants to come back, retest, even if after breaking out of 200 SMA, it never back tested. So this could be a back test. This could still be a higher low. Could still be a higher low before we going high. So you can see, if I show you a count from trend perspective, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So even here, or even here, even if we come back fully to fill this gap, this could still be a nice area you want to be buying. All right, so now the question is, this is it, or we're going lower? We'll wait and watch. Give me a second. All right, so I was saying, yeah, so this is it, and this is your opportunity. Same thing with Nasdaq. You can see here, similar story here. So same story, high, 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 high lows, high, high, high lows, and we're entering this gap fill. Is this gonna go all the way down before we make a new all-time high, or this is it, or this is it? Like there was a gap around 508, or this is it, somewhere here, and then we're going high. This is a big question. And then this could be inverse head and shoulders. So you can see here, same thing with the S&P 500 too. You can see we can make something like this. Trying to find a brush. Okay, here. So left shoulder, head, and then we are making a right shoulder here. All right, and then probably we're gonna go higher. So we'll wait and watch. We'll see which way market is going. And also on SPY, this gap here, keep an eye on 612. So this is also gonna be filled at some point. So this is the live futures here. You can see here futures are coming back into support. Let's see if they're gonna close above this 200 moving average, or they're gonna bring it down. 1 hour chart, you can see here, yesterday had a bear flag, tried to rally, got rejected, and now going lower. So let's see if they want to really fill this gap. No divergences here. Same story on Nasdaq. Nasdaq gap is way far, so looks less likely to fill that. More than S&P 500 probably gonna get filled, but we'll keep an eye on that. So that's happening. Bitcoin also just cooling down, nothing, just 3% down, not a big deal. Bitcoin bulls, this is nothing for you guys. So again, so broke out a flag, now coming back down, maybe back testing this flag. So maybe that's what they're trying to do here. If I draw a brush, you can see here this was a flag, something like this, and now they went higher, back test, and then they can go higher again. All right. So nothing to be too concerned about on Bitcoin, just back testing this broke out flag. Ethereum tried to break out of this 200 moving average, got rejected again. BTC, now BTC gaps, one thing to note, if they really want to dump Bitcoin, they could bring it all the way down to 9,700. There's a gap here. So just keep that in mind. Ethereum, they could really bring it back to 1,700. So we have to be open-minded for all these scenarios. Also, other thing I wanted to tell you is you see this 8 count sell signal. This is very accurate. Every time we get 8 counts, we got a big dump. 8 counts, little dump here. 7 counts dump, 7 counts dump. So same thing on MES. 7 counts dump here, 7, 8 counts dump here in the past, 7, 8 counts dump, 7, 8 sideways, 7, 8 dump. So it's a pretty accurate signal. And the next time I'm going to pay very good attention to this, because this is telling us that we are pretty much topping out soon. Same thing with bottom 7, 8 counts. That sounds like it's in a bottoming phase. All right. So we have to keep an eye on this and plan accordingly. Sorry, VIX is also same thing here. I was telling you 7, 8, 9, and now getting a bigger rally, 7, 8, 9 here. Bigger rally, 7, 8, bigger pump here, 7, 8, 9, bigger rally, 7, bigger pump. So all these VIX 7, 8 counts, and then S&P 500 7, 8 is telling us that it's easy to trade if we use these indicators and plan accordingly. All right. So that's how things are being played here. But again, the good news is if you miss this rally, this is your opportunity to buy, and we are near nice support here, and then probably we're going to bounce. And we're opening on a gap down, which they will try to fill at some point, this big gap. I don't think there's any point in doing individual stocks because futures are down. It's pretty much same. NVDA, you can see gaps here. You can take a screenshot. Apple is the one which is selling off, mainly due to that new news of putting 25% tariff on phones which are not made in US. So you can see opening below, but again on opening on a huge gap. So Apple could be a nice buy in the morning. This morning we'll see how far they want to dump Apple, but this could be a good trade because Apple is still very profitable and they're making a lot of money. We'll keep an eye on this. Other than that, commodities wise, yes, oil still getting rejected out of this resistance. Natural gas is again getting rejected on this 220 moving 50 moving average. Bounce near 200, so going back down. Gold is bouncing because market is selling, but still could be still a higher low. It really needs to break previous high around 34.54 to go high again. But gold miners will be pumping because of that. Dollar is falling in front of some passive resistance, and all the tech stocks are selling off. So I don't think there's any point looking at anything. AMD is down 3%. I think this is probably an ideal case to cool down a bit before we go higher. This is required in a bull market. So that's what's happening. Declines are required before we can go higher. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Let's see how things shape up and how far this market dumps, and we'll keep an eye on it. All right. Okay, hit the like button on your way out, and also if you want to know more about these zones, you can see this is a zone I share with my subscribers. It's in the buy area. Then there's a link in the description on the left side of this video. Join it. Let me know your user ID. I will move you to members only section where I share these levels, and you can make a lot of money because you know now this is the area you want to be buying and this is the area you want to be selling. You should not be shorting here. Okay. All right. Take care. Bye.